Hey everyone, Catch 'em All Collectibles here. In today's video, I'm going to show you many of the cards that are going on the first wave, first month shipment to the eBay Vault Consignment service. If you haven't heard, if you haven't seen, I've posted it on my socials. You'll hear some details about the service as I just show off some of the first wave cards coming in. So yeah, let me get right into it. Quick overview of how it works. You can see a nice, very low pop Gem Mint 10 Slow King there from Neo Genesis. Not something you see too frequently. You might see me have a couple little papers here. I have the submitter information along with each card that I will not show any identifying information as I show these off. But yeah, I got quite a batch of cards for this first month submission. The way that it works, if you get your cards to me by the first business day of the month, and as you are watching this, today is the first business day of the month. I am allowing some people to get in a little bit late. I am allowing some people we're going to have their cards trickle in the last couple days. They will be in for the first send off because the first month I have quite a big batch of cards going out. Quite a lot of interest. If you see this and it's something new to you, feel free to reach out and we can talk about getting your cards in on a future submission. Complete PSA 10 Scream set. I do have a new camera angle going on, so very, very rare card to see. The only lenticular card that Pokemon has ever created, and to see that in Gem Mint 10, very, very rare, very, very low pop. As I said, some great cards, but yeah, new camera angle. Very quite a bit higher up for the camera, more straight down. Let me know what you think. Hopefully the cards, it allows me to show more cards on the screen at once. I guess it's a trade-off between seeing them up super close and then getting more room for me to handle open packs, whatever I'm doing, show off the cards. But yeah, again, if you sent cards to me and you're not seeing them in this video, don't worry. If I've said that we're going to get you in on the first wave submission, I will get you in on the first wave submission. It's going to be like a multiple send-off, actually, just due to the actual volume. There is a high, I don't need to get into the specifics of it, but there's a high value minimum for how much value you need to send off to the eBay vault. But there's also a relatively low quantity of cards. So I'm doing my best to blend in the different consignments, different cards together to get the optimal for insurance values and all that stuff. But yeah, that's all done on the back end. Let me just continue showing off the cards here. Nice Spectratron Charizard. I've had quite a few people ask me, do you want me to send them in the sleeves or not in the sleeves? Either way is fine. It's actually ideal though. I would rather you send them not in the sleeves. If you're worried about the cases getting scratched, that's perfectly fine to send them in the sleeves. I will remove them from the sleeves for vault submission. That's the way PWCC Vault works. That's the way eBay Vault works. They need to do scans. People don't want to be taking in and out. I do sports cards. So I've had a couple people reach out. Pretty much anything eBay authenticity guarantee eligible. I cannot do booster packs. I cannot do sealed product, anything like that, but graded single cards that are CGC, BGS, or PSA graded, they are all good to go. Couple great cards there too that you don't see that often. The sports card, something I really don't see at all. Not the 1952 tops, but a 1953 tops mantle. Sorry, we've got a sheet in the middle there. I didn't want to show off any information. But yeah, this is just a selection of what's here. I think I'm showing about 100 cards. And then I will continue to show a little bit more information about the Vault Consignment service. As I was saying, the sleeves will come off. I do need to photograph them as part of the submission process on my end. eBay will need to scan them to create the actual listing photo on their end. That was again, not every consignor card that I've been sent. If you didn't see yours probably either arrived later. I'm recording this on July 1st. I'm recording this on Saturday. I picked up my P.O. box, everything I have in hand as of today, but I know that there are a couple more coming in later this week that will get in on the initial or second There's probably going to be 3 individual send-offs to start this month. But yeah, feel free to reach out. These 2 stacks, these last 2 stacks that I'm going to show you are all, not all, some amount of my cards that I'm going to bleed in if and when I have a light month, if and when I need to get more value into the submission to get a send-off, to get to where I can meet the threshold. That was not at all an issue in this first month. Very, very happy to see it. I am contemplating, I'll have to see how, probably what I'll do is I'll get 2 or 3 send-offs for this month to get everyone in, and then I'll see how demand is for August. If and when demand for August is fairly substantial, kind of doing a complete submission on its own without any of my cards blending in. As you can see, I have a fair bit of value here that I can add to blend in and get submitters cards in, consignors cards into the vault. If and when the demand in August seems to be enough, I will probably switch to 2 weeks, every 2 weeks doing a send-off. But for now, I can guarantee that for the remainder of the year at a minimum, I can definitely do monthly send-offs. So for now, first business day of the month, you get it to me, you're going to be into the vault. Again, $250 minimum value. We cannot do any $50 cards. We can't do raw cards, anything of that nature. So it's just eBay Authenticity Guarantee eligible. I did hear rumblings, and it may actually be active now. The eBay Authenticity Guarantee might have gone down to $150. I've not yet confirmed that. I'm going to stick with the $250 minimum. I've already had quite a few people reaching out with really borderline things. Some things I've rejected. Some things, they're close enough that we can make them work. But yeah, the $250 will continue to be. There is a $25 minimum fee. So even at $250, when you're cutting it that close, you're not getting the full benefit of the 5% fee. You're actually paying 10% functionally with the $25 minimum at $250 value. So down the line, that could change. We'll have to see how that develops. But as of right now, to ensure that I'm not inundated, to ensure that I can keep up with monthly submissions, getting them in the same business week, I'm sticking with $250 minimum for now. But yeah, stay tuned for further developments. That is just a selection of the cards that I have that are not currently listed on my eBay. So, let me switch over to show you just some of the other cards that I can bleed in. So these first Art Academies, these actually are already in the eBay vault. I mean, I know what I've sent in and I know what I haven't sent in. So the Tidal Waves, I believe I have over 200 cards that from my own eBay that are not in the vault. The booster pack would not be eligible. But yeah, there's quite a good selection of cards that I could send in. These are my personal cards, and then I also have a couple hundred more Consignor cards that are in person in my inventory to be able to send in. So yeah, really, really happy. I guess we got under 250 there for a little bit there, but these are some of the consignment cards that I do have approval from some consignors to send cards in. Other consignors don't want to deal with the eBay vault. It is completely up to you. As you can see in the bottom right here below me, there is still the regular eBay Buy It Now consignment service available. So yeah, I will, per the consignor's instruction, send quite a few of these in. Obviously, if they can choose between a 20% fee or a 5% fee, it makes sense to go with the 5% fee. Couple drawbacks, couple cons, couple potential search issues with the eBay vault, as I mentioned, as it rolls out, as it's not a beta, I wouldn't say, but it is a newer service, and they're working on getting international visibility and things of that nature. But yeah, a bunch of the other cards that will likely eventually be going into the vault. And just so you could see, I did show this in a long form video before, get you a little bit shorter form video, a little bit more digestible. What these will look like on your end, what these will look like as the consumer. These are in my store. These are in the vault, but they look as if they're in my store. If you're searching from the buyer side, these will just look all like all my other inventory. The only difference will be they'll have that little badge. They'll have that little eBay vault badge right there. A little bit cut off the screen there, but yeah. Another thing I wanted to show in this video quickly, so you can see it a little bit better there, eBay vault. Everything else looks the same though. It says, I mean, It says that it's coming from me. It shows my feedback. It shows the standard description that comes with the eBay Vault. These things are all standardized and controlled by the Vault. But yeah, let's show one other thing I wanted to show, because a couple people asked, how will I be able to track what cards I have with you? Couple ways. So one thing is I'll give you a 3-digit code. A 3-digit code that you can search eBay for, you can search in my store for, and that will lead you to the card. As of right now, and I am able to do this in the eBay Vault as well, I do a 3-digit code at the end of the listing. So like one of my consigners is JK1. One of my consigners is GU1. I generally do alphanumeric, 2 letters and then 1 number. So yeah, GU1, RK1, JK1, there's MC1, MC2. That is one way that you can find your listings, but another way is, this is an example. If you go to in the description, the submission form and the terms and the frequently asked questions, I've added a 4th tab now called a sample tracking form. So this is what you'd see on your end. Up at the top, I would have all your payouts. So the month, day, and year of the payout, number of the payout, and the amount. I would have your consignor info. This is a file that only you and I can see. I give you not editing access, but I give you commenting access. So if and when you ever want to change the pricing on a card, you can do that through a comment in the spreadsheet, and then I will accept that. I will edit that in the spreadsheet and edit that in the eBay listing. Some people have asked if and when the prices move on cards. If they move up, it's likely your card will be sold. But if they ever move down and you want to move them down, you can communicate with me through our normal communication method. That is one other thing I keep right in the file that I share with you to track the consignment. Contact method. I do Instagram, I do Discord, I do email, I do a little bit of everything. Whatever your preference is, I can make it work. Your payout method: PayPal, friends and family, ACH, crypto. Most common ones are ACH and actually check. PayPal, friends and family is not too common. I have a few people doing that, but the majority are actually ACH. I do have quite a few international people. And Wise. I use Wise, which does very good low fee currency conversions. Return address, as I've mentioned it before, very important. Ideally, this is a consigning relationship. Ideally, nothing gets returned. If and when the worst were to happen, I always keep your information that you send to me on these on the submission forms, your information. If and when anything were to happen and the cards had to go back to you, I keep those with the cards. In the eBay Vault, it would have your 3-digit code. It would refer back to the spreadsheet. Someone will know how to get your stuff back to you if it ever had to happen. And then just the normal things, the card name, the company, the grade, low list, last sold, list price, net, and then the way that you track what's actually been selling. I basically just copy the net over. If we're listing it at $500, $25 fee, you're going to net $475 through the eBay Vault. If and when it sells, I will list the date sold. I will list the date that I was actually paying you out. And I will also fill out the date received, the date it actually got listed to eBay. So just some relevant dates to your actual consignment and how it's going, how much I owe you, which is paid out every Wednesday. I pay out weekly for whatever's sold prior. I used to have a minimum payout, no longer have a minimum payout. I think that covers mostly everything. I showed you a little bit of what's to come to my eBay page. Will not be directly in my possession. It will be possessed by the eBay Vault on behalf of you through my eBay page on this whole consignment service. So yeah, again, that's the information right there. If anyone has any interest in getting into a future submission, I do have a couple extra ones. I have 400 cards between Consignor Cards currently on hand, plus my own cards north of $250, plus the 100 cards people have already sent in. I have 500 cards I need to get in eventually. And yeah, if and when you want to get in a little bit late, express shipment is overnight to my P.O. box. I do have a P.O. box, USPS address, and I also have a UPS eligible address. That's another thing a lot of people have asked me. I don't do FedEx. I don't do DHL. But I do have, it should cover everybody, I would think. Between USPS and UPS, that should cover everybody. Everyone should be able to get it to me. You add signature to it, As long as it's been approved, don't just ship to my PO box without getting approval. I have to approve every consignment because I need to verify what's actually coming to me. If and when the worst were to happen and something were to get lost on the way, I need to have a list of what you're sending to me. You need to add signature to it. If and when it's over my insurance limit, hasn't happened yet. I don't think it's happening anytime soon. Very high insurance limit. But I would communicate that to you and say, hey, this one's quite valuable. We're going to have to split it up. We're going to have to do something different because I don't want to take that risk of something getting lost and not being fully covered. So yeah, always reach out to me ahead of time for approval. Email, Instagram, Discord, however you want to reach out to me. And hopefully we can get something set up and going. That's all I've got for today. So yeah, again, any questions, leave them in the YouTube comments below. Reach out to me. Any method that suits you best. With that, that's everything for today. Thanks for watching, and thanks to those who are utilizing the eBay Buy It Now consignment service directly through me or through the Vault. I appreciate you all watching, and I will catch you all later.